Hi, welcome to another episode of Dave's Rants. I'm going to do things a little different today. First of all, I'm just going to jump in my primary rant. My rant today is a continuation of a rant I started on my blog. I've been wondering, what was I going to rant about? What was I going to rant about? And I keep coming back to Marvel Comics. This rant pains me because I love Marvel Comics. I love the characters. I've always been a big fan. I grew up on Marvel Comics. They're a big part of my life. And the thing is, I want to love Marvel Comics now, but I'm having a hard time. Like I said, I started this on my blog the other day, and I'm going to continue on Marvel Comics. Let me give you some advice. Not that you care, not that it matters. I'm only a lifelong comic fan and a retailer. This is my 2 bits on it, though. Marvel Comics needs to simplify. They've got so many books that are just all over the place. They don't seem to have a lot of focus. They don't seem to have a lot of continuity sometimes. Marvel is confounding to me with their comic books. And every time you hear announcements from Marvel Comics, here lately you've heard there's this announcement that Marvel wants to team up with somebody and they want to do a touring live show, like a circus type show. There's this announcement that Marvel Comics is going to do with their digital comics this interactive thing with music and sound effects and everything. Hey, you want to do something, Marvel? How about get back to making good comics? The fact of the matter is, I struggle to read most of the Marvel comics. They don't hold my attention. They don't hold my interest in it, and it hurts me because I love these characters. There's only 2 Marvel comics right now that really hold my attention at all. My favorite Marvel comic, and it's one of my favorite books going, is Hawkeye. And it's a great book. If you don't read it, check it out. I also love, I'm enjoying Superior Spider-Man. And it caught me off guard. It surprised me. I didn't think I was going to like Superior Spider-Man. I didn't want to like Superior Spider-Man, but I'm enjoying it thus far. Hats off to Dan Slott. He's doing a good job. But the fact of the matter is, everything else that Marvel's putting out, I can't get into. I'm not enjoying it. It's just too, it's too, I don't know, it's too much. There's too many books. There's too little focus. You know what? Let's get back to this. You want to do something? Marvel Comics, it's time to face the facts and admit that DC Comics did something right with this New 52 reboot. And now you're trying to do this Marvel Now thing, but you're not doing it right. Because what you need to do is you need to see that DC Comics is matching you. They're only slightly behind you in sales and market share, but they're doing it with less books. And so that's saying something. And, you know, Marvel's got too many books running twice a month, every other week, this and that, every 3 weeks. And there's these rumors that they might come out with a weekly comic. They don't need to go that direction. They need to back off. They need to simplify down. They need to make one primary book for each of their major characters. They need to make, you know, one, 2, maybe 3 books for some of their teams. I mean, you know, we need 1 Avengers books. I can see X-Men having a couple books, but, you know, not too many. Does the world need 4 Wolverine books? Really? I mean, it's too much. Right? I love the character. I love Wolverine. I understand he's popular, but Lord have mercy, calm down. Every time somebody likes one of your characters, you want to shove it down everybody's throats. You want to put them in all the books. You want to put them on all the covers. It's too much. They need to simplify. They need to trim back the number of books they have. And you know what? Hey, just make good stories. All right? Just have good artwork. You know, don't worry about your touring circus. Don't worry about your digital media, music things. Just make good comic books, all right? You're nailing it on the movies. That's obvious, right? The movies are spectacular. They're great. They're wildly entertaining. Hopefully, the Shield TV show will be great as well. But don't overlook the comic books. You know, I mean, it irritates me and it bothers me. Because I love Marvel and I love these characters and I don't like the direction. I'm a DC fan also, and DC right now is just, to me, is doing everything right. So that's kind of my rant. It's on Marvel Comics. I think they need to get their act together. I think they need to simplify and back down. And you know what? Let's get back to making some good comics. And I'm gonna do something different. What I'm gonna do different now is I'm gonna respond to a couple people's things they brought to my attention. I had someone ask me what my opinions are on Damian Wayne dying in Batman. And you know what? And I'm fine with it. Actually, I enjoy it. You know, because I didn't like the Damian Wayne character. I thought he was a whiny little brat. Didn't like much about him. Didn't like him as Robin. You know, if that's what they were going for, it was successful. But I didn't like him. So I think his death was a good thing for comics. Now the key is, let's keep him dead. All right, let's don't bring this one back. We don't need him back. He's not going to serve a purpose. The Batman rides on pain, and you've just given him more pain. Let's don't ease that pain. Let's keep Batman hurting, because that's when he's dark and that's when he's best. So I thought it was good. All right, I like the way they did it, because it kind of caught you off guard a little, because you were expecting something out of Death of the Family, and it didn't really happen the way we wanted. And then they come with this Batman Incorporated up with this death, and I think it brought some surprise to it, and it was a good thing. And along the same lines of Batman, somebody asked me what I thought about the announcement of the Batman 0 year coming up. It's an 11-issue series coming up, I believe, starting in June, where they're going to go back and touch on and tell some of Batman's origins and everything else. And this is my take. I'm usually very skeptical of retellings of origins, because I'm very partial to what's out there, and I don't like changing those things. But I will say that with Scott Snyder writing it, I have faith. Scott Snyder, to me, is, in my opinion, Scott Snyder is the best comic book writer right now. He is brilliant. I think he's great. I've enjoyed everything he's written, whether it be American Vampire, whether it be Swamp Thing, whether it be Batman. Cannot wait for him to do Superman Unchained with Jim Lee. So I've got faith in Scott Snyder that he'll do it right. There has been some talks that it's not going to be a retooling or retelling. It's going to be hey, let's touch on some things that don't really get looked at. How does Bruce Wayne make a Batcave and not get noticed? Things like that. It'll be cool. I think he'll do it right. I like it. I'm happy with it. Can't wait to read it. And then the other big topic that everybody asks me about is Walking Dead. I get asked about Walking Dead about everything, with customers, with people on Facebook, on Twitter. It's Walking Dead, Walking Dead, Walking Dead. Now, so let's have Dave's Rant Part 2. Okay, let's talk Walking Dead. I love Walking Dead. I'm a big fan of the show, big fan of the comics. Love it, okay? Right now, so let's speak of the comics a little bit. People ask me about the comics, why there's all these, there's omnibuses, there's this, there's that. The thing that's brilliant about the Walking Dead comic is it's very simple to get into. There's one book, all right? If you want to catch up on the book, you go out and you get the trade paperbacks, or you get the omnibuses, or you get the hardcover. They're all the same material. It's just different forms of putting it together and putting it out there. Some people like hardcover, really nice collections. They only want 1, 2, 3, a few books. So there's larger editions. So then, and they break them down to ways, but it's all the same material. It's very easy to get into. That's the brilliance of Walking Dead. It's a brilliant move by Image. Hey, we've got one book. You want to jump on board and read? This is it. Read Walking Dead. You want to catch up? Hey, we got trade paperbacks. You start with number 1. You work your way up. Marvel Comics, take note. So that brings us to the television show. Let me talk about the Walking Dead television show. I enjoy the Walking Dead television show. I enjoy it to varying degrees. It depends on the episode. This season, I've been up and down. It's been a major roller coaster for me. They had a couple episodes that were really great. Last one was, I don't know. It was a little slow for me, but I understand. I think it was a setup episode, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the setup episode. But I've got 3 beefs with the Walking Dead television show, and they continue to go on. And a couple of them, they're solving a little bit. Number 1, the Governor. I love the Governor, love the character. I think he's a great character. I love David Morrissey. But then again, he's a Doctor Who alum, right? I would love him as a Doctor Who alum, would I? But anyway, I think he's doing a great job. I think the problem they've had with him is they've not made him, they've not made him nasty enough. He is a really wicked character in the books. And I think they're solving that a little bit. I think he's getting there. So hopefully they keep pushing the bar, because you know what? He needs to be a villain. He needs to be a true villain. You know what? We feel a little sympathetic for him already, right? We know what happened to his daughter. We know what happened to his family. Fine. We feel the sympathy for what he's went through behind. Now we know we need to hate him. All right. So let's get that. Second, Michonne. I love the Michonne character in the comic books. One of the one of the best comic characters in recent time. I think they've made her too soft in the show thus far. Not enough slice and dice and not enough carrying on. You know, I think they need a little more. I understand that you couldn't convey over a lot of what Michonne does in the comic, especially some of her interactions with the governor, and that's okay. But you know what? It's time for Michonne to step up and be a bigger player. I think they'll do that. I think she'll prove her worth to Rick and all this and that, and I hope that goes on. Now my third, and it's my biggest beef with Walking Dead, and it seems to be a lot of people's beef, is Andrea. If you've seen my recent rants, you know that I don't like Megan Fox, right? I don't like Kristen Stewart. I don't like Taylor Swift. I hate Andrea. I think on television the Andrea character is horrible. I think she rides the fence. She's wishy-washy. There's just nothing captivating about this character. I don't know what they're doing with her. I don't know what she's there for. You know, here, these are some spoilers. If you've not seen last week's Walking Dead, you might want to shut me off now because I'm going to talk about some things. So that's your spoiler alert. She tells Herschel that, you know, what's she going to do? She can't go back with the governor. She can't go back there now, right? She can't. How can she? And then she does, right? Andrea is very much about herself in the moment, and her loyalties are, I don't know where they're at, okay? And hopefully it's going somewhere. Hopefully they're going to show something that comes of this. Personally, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Michonne take her blade and slice Andrea apart. I would like to see Michonne kill Andrea. Hey, we've killed two birds with one stone. Michonne's toughened up and Andrea's gone. I don't like Andrea. The only character I didn't like more than her was Lori, but Lori's gone, right? Except in Rick's head. But so, you know what? I think it's time to kill off Andrea. And I think they need to do it now. I think they need to do it swift. And, hey, you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's let Michonne do it because they got a lot of history there, right? It makes sense. So that's my rant about Walking Dead. That's what I feel about it. I still love the show. I hope they finish with a bang here on this season, which they usually do. So let's hope for the best. Would make me happy if they'd kill off Andrea. So anyway, that's my rant for this week. Maybe a little less passionate in the past weeks, but yeah, it's very strong and opinionated. Marvel Comics needs to get their act together. That's my opinion. I want to like Marvel. I want to love Marvel. I want to see them back to prominence. And I just don't. I think comic book wise, they got some things they need to get in line. So tell me what you want to see me rant about in the future. Tell me what you think about my rant today. You can tell me whatever, that I'm full of it. Whatever your opinion is. You can drop me an email at dave@skcomics.com. You can come here in the shop and visit me. You can visit me on Facebook, whatever you need to. But that's my rant for this week. Remember, have fun. Remember, kill Andrea.